Hey, I'm Alex, and welcome.
All power to the people. Right to live is mine.
Okay, so where we left off, after a very, very long time, George Lucas came back and started making Star Wars movies, and people were sort of mixed feelings about that. They were like, yeah, nah. And George Lucas was like, well, I mean, if you guys don't like my movies, forget you people. I got things to do with my time. Never mind Star Wars and Star Wars movies, and, he just toddled off. There was still some Star Wars on the TV, and there was some Star Wars in the video games. There was a big, huge fan following and people who really loved Star Wars and things related to Star Wars. But as far as the movies, didn't look good. But then, one day, unexpectedly, Disney bought Star Wars, like the whole thing, for like $4 billion, which is a number that has way too many zeros. Uh, that's just, you can't even, that's not like a real number even. So George Lucas highly recommended Kathleen Kennedy to go with Lucasfilms and like make sure that the ship was running straight and everything. And they were like, we're gonna get our best and brightest minds and get the creative people, and we're gonna make the Star Wars that you really like. Yes, way yes. So we were hopeful that maybe things can be even better. Everything that we love, we could maybe love it even more. And then there was a trailer. The trailer came from like out of the blue, and it was big. It was big and it was beautiful, and all of that old Star Wars feeling was there in it, and there was this kind of a new mysterious Star Wars feeling that was different. And whereas the old original Star Wars movies had to sort of be shamed into having a black guy in it, this looked like a regular modern multicultural film. And whereas the old Star Wars had like just sort of one female character that was in the middle of everything doing action, this one looked like it also had just one female, but it looked like she might even be more prominent and get to do more stuff. And there was all kinds of reason to be very hopeful about this new Star Wars. The movie came out. I ran to see it right away. I thought it was great. One thing that struck me right off the bat was that apparently the good guys, people who won and blew up both of the Death Stars, apparently they had like I don't know, 20 some odd years. They've been in charge for a while, and as far as I could tell, the lives of the people in the Star Wars universe did not seem that their lives were like materially improved, or if anybody did have their lives improved by the good guys having won, they didn't show us that part. I don't know where that part was. Maybe you could give them a pass, the rebels, on because apparently they were still trying to figure out how to like finish off the people who just have this murderous appetite for just killing everybody. They're still out there and they're coalescing and they are getting really stronger and they're still able to build Death Stars. Political messages, meh. I mean, it's pretty much just the same old message as it ever was. Movie made a ton of money for Disney. Um, just big bunches of money. And critically, there were a lot of people saying this is just the same old Star Wars movie, just repackaged. All you did was just make the first Star Wars movie over again. I didn't see it that way. I thought there was plenty that was new enough. But where the internet went crazy was just in terms of gender dynamics. As I say, there weren't tons of female characters. There was mainly just one, but there was a certain portion of the internet that just could not get past the fact that she was very, very powerful, inexplicably powerful. They didn't tell you any reason for her to be that powerful, and that she was a woman. So how could she be inexplicably powerful if she's a woman? You have to explain to us. She's able to do powerful things, and it's a movie, it's fiction. Um, you're asked in fiction movies to suspend your disbelief and just sort of give it a chance to be its story and let it play out. But the internet was not having it. They were like, you need to explain to us, you owe us an explanation for how this person can simultaneously be so powerful and a woman. But then if you ever told them that it was because it was the and a woman part, they would get really mad and defensive and deny it, and they would say, no, we get really, really, really mad when male characters are this powerful for no reason too, and then they would like tell you about Wesley Crusher and whatnot. But we knew it was the and a woman part. They weren't fooling nobody. So that first movie was made, directed by J.J. Abrams, who makes the big action films and puts the lens flare in the movies. Follow-up was to be done by Rian Johnson, bright rising star, and pretty much he had like a couple of mandates. The main mandate that he had, that they were saying, is like be unpredictable, because that was the big criticism. Star Wars, was too safe and too predictable. So they were like, hey, dude, make an awesome movie and make it unpredictable. About this time, it's getting really, really hard to make an unpredictable movie because the internet has a thing called YouTube, and it is full. I mean, full to the brim. Star Wars fans that are predicting. That's what they spend their time doing, predicting. And so how do you make a movie that, when there's thousands of predictions out there and you want to make an unpredictable movie with it's just like anybody that just guesses right. You got to start writing your movie over again, like somehow Rian Johnson, he pulled it off. He definitely made an unpredictable kind of a Star Wars movie. Like, there were things you didn't see them coming. So, did people like The Last Jedi? The conventional wisdom says no, that people hated it, but that could have a lot to do with the fact that there was a massive campaign that spent all of their time and energy trying to convince people that people hated The Last Jedi, starting weeks before it even came out. The people that were really mad because they were demanding an explanation for how come the female lead is so powerful, well, unpredictably, he didn't answer your question. He just sort of said, hey, you know what? She's even as powerful as that, and then some, and who knows why? See what he did there? The thing that George Lucas did with the Metachlorians, which I just, how could you? Where he just sort of made it sort of like an elitist kind of a gene pool kind of a thing. Rian Johnson took that and he punted it. He punted it through the end zone. Boom, that's gone. I was so happy. It was my favorite Star Wars movie in the regular series by far. It had some major plot holes and some story weirdness. I'll be the first to admit that. In a place as big as Disney, I know they're trying to keep it unpredictable, keep it under wraps, and keep it a total secret. But you should get either more people or better people to read the script and let you know that, like, there's some things that just don't make a lot of sense. But the internet had a conniption fit. They were just like, they wanted Kathleen Kennedy to have like horrible, torturous things befall her. They were not having it. They were so mad in so many different directions. They were just out there on the internet trashing Star Wars left, right, and center. Or I should say right, and right, but who's counting? So it got to the point where you could not go on the internet and say, hey, I really like The Last Jedi, because everybody would just have a fit. They would be like, what, are you crazy? You can't like that piece of garbage, and nobody liked it. And, but you'd be like, okay, chill. But I liked it though. So Star Wars, the whole thing was like a total mess. It was just like a big, huge, very, very contentious mess. And Colin Trevorrow, who I'm sure is a quality person and a very nice filmmaker, he was slated to direct the third installment, the third sequel trilogy movie that would conclude the whole thing, and they just had to go their separate ways. They were like, get JJ back in here. And JJ Abrams was like, oh yeah, yeah, you want a safe movie now, huh? Disney, huge company that just paid the billions with the lots of zeros and everything. They don't have the risk tolerance to just be making Star Wars movies and just take a chance that they might be not great. They were like, no, fix it. Fix it. Find out what these people want and just give them anything they want. Just throw what they want at them. So J.J. Abrams had to make the most fan service movie that I've ever seen. Is just like it. I mean, it basically looked like that. Like, find what Star Wars fans want and just give them. To me, that made the movie extremely mediocre. I mean, it was like very, very mediocre, and it was very, 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 really super quite long. Such a long movie. And however long the movie was, it was even longer while you were watching it. So long. And I heard rumors that like they had to edit it down, cut lots and lots of parts out of it just to get it to be only way too long. And so they tried to please everybody, tried to just, what can make everybody happy, make all these critics and malcontents go away. They took the beautiful, beautiful work that Rian Johnson had done with the punting and taking the metachlorians and just getting them out of here, and they just brought them right back in. And they, Rey with the lightsabers, she's, really super powerful. They totally just explained why that is. Okay, she's a Palpatine. Sorry if that's a spoiler for anybody. I doubt it at this point, but yeah, that's, she's a Palpatine. Oh my God, is it over yet? Oh, so yeah, episode 9, The Rise of Skywalker, it just sort of limped out of here. They're just like, take your L and just go and just, like do the best you can, gross whatever you can, but, we got Marvel movies to make, and what, I mean, it's just, it's kind of ruined. It's kind of ruined. I have a little bit more to say about that. I'm going to have to put it in a fourth video. I will talk a little bit about the 2 other movies that are not in this series, which are Rogue One and Solo. And I will just sort of wrap up, like recap, where all this went wrong, because there's a lot more details when you get into the politics of it. And we'll be doing that in the next video. Thank you for watching this video. I really appreciate it. Yeah, this has been me. My rap name is Alex, for the All Power to the People. And I'll see you next time.